So we got that down. I'm Jen Mirabile. For those of you who don't know, I'm the founder of Team Free&Fit, and this is our weekly team call. So all of our diamonds and star diamonds, including myself, come together and just share experiences, tips, things that we've learned from, things to add value to all of us. So tonight, our diamond coach, Shannon Story, is going to share pretty much how to push through when you experience hard things, or maybe even something you would consider a failure or something, a setback. So she's going to share some of her experience, and I know that I've experienced with this as well. So I really do believe it's going to come down to that why power, but I'm super excited to hear what Shannon has to share. So I'm going to mute myself and let her take it.
Okay. I was like, do I have to unmute myself? Okay. Awesome. Hi, guys. Thanks for all showing up. I'm excited to talk about this topic. So we all know that during your business, you're going to get to points where you're like, oh man, maybe I'm just not cut out for this. You know, I've hit this roadblock, or things aren't going my way. And, you know, I think I should probably just stop or take a step back. And we all know once you take a step back, it's hard to take that step back forward. So I wanted to talk a little bit about some personal things in my business that happened and how I overcame it. So about this time last year, I got into kind of a funk where I wasn't not working the business, but I wasn't actively working it like I should have. So, you know, I was very sporadic in my posting. I was doing a program, but I wasn't like really sharing about it. I wasn't doing my inviting, and my business slowed down a lot. I lost my drive for the business. I wasn't getting as many people interested because I wasn't doing the things I needed to do. So what I ended up doing was I actually partnered up with someone, and we became success partners. And I truly felt like that change is what I needed at the time to boost my business into high gear. So in January, we teamed up and we created a new team together. We went all in, and my business took off. I was reignited. Like I said, we took our team. She's not on our downline. She's from a different downline. So we just took our teams and made one team page and created a new team name. We were doing everything together, and it was great. It was awesome. We were all in, and we were rank advancing. We were signing new coaches. It was great. Well, come probably July and August, things started to get our teams were just kind of heading in different directions. Our team cultures just weren't meshing as well as they used to. We were both growing, and we weren't growing in the same direction. We were growing apart from each other. And so I could have viewed that as, okay, we failed as being success partners. Our teams are ruined. We can't continue on like this anymore. So, you know, we just need to throw in the towel and, you know, call it quits, and I'm giving up. But I didn't. What I did was I had that hard conversation with her and said, you know, I don't think this is going where we want it to. And so we decided that, you know, we were always going to keep what was best for our business and for our team first and foremost. So we did decide to split our teams back off into separate teams. And so I could have seen that as, man, I failed, you know, now how am I going to make it through this? I don't have my success partner anymore. We don't have combined teams anymore. But what it did was it showed me how much harder I needed to push. I didn't have that person to depend on to pick up my slack. I had to pick up my own slack now. So I pushed through, and I can tell you that shift in my business, again, it ignited me, and I'm pushing even harder now. The month of October, November, and December, I'm not stopping. I'm pushing 10 times harder than I was before this. So sometimes you hit those roadblocks in your business where you're like, man, I failed at this. You advertise for a challenge group and get no responses. You send out 60 invites to people and no one answers you. You follow up with them and no one answers you. Does it mean that you're not cut out for this? Does it mean that you should give up and throw in the towel? No, it just means that now it's time to try a different strategy, rework what you're doing, and start fresh. Try something new, try something different, start a new strategy. I'm constantly changing up the structure of my challenge groups. So I've done just the straight up 30-day groups. I've done 60-day groups. I've done groups where there's a team of coaches and we all take turns posting. I've done free eating groups that transition to 30-day groups. I have an ongoing support group. You have to find new and inventive ways to keep yourself excited and to reignite that fire. So I know this time of year can be difficult, but I can tell you personally, I struggled in August and September. The business was a struggle for me for some reason. It wasn't fun anymore. I was doing it to do it. And I wasn't getting joy out of it. Once I decided to make that shift in my business, like I said, it reignited me and my passion came back full force. So maybe that's what you need to do. If you're at a sticking point in your business, find a way to reignite it. Maybe you need to find a success partner. Maybe you need to reach out to the coaches in your downline, reach out to your upline and look for a new way to approach the business. Some new strategies. I definitely recommend success partners. Just because mine didn't go the direction we had started doesn't mean that we failed. It means that we adjusted the course and we did what we needed to do for our relationship to keep our relationship whole. So that's the other way to look at it, is just because something doesn't work, it doesn't mean it was a failure. It just means you learned a lesson and now you're correcting for how to make it even better in the future. Okay, so I told my husband I would talk about this. So he has, and if any of you have ever met Deke or you know him, he is quite a character. But he has 3 rules to life, and they really are really good rules. So when I was telling him to dinner, how I was going to be on this call and what I was going to be talking about, he's like, you have to talk about the 3 rules of life. And so these are his 3 rules, and I think these are great for you just in general in life, but it applies to our business as well. So the first one is be an optimist. So always look at it as glass full and think positively. So no matter what, always be on the optimistic side of stuff. And this is something I've learned throughout the business. And, crappy things happen. That customer who said they were signing up on Friday, they didn't sign up. Stuff like that happens. Or someone that you've been talking to for 6 months says, oh yeah, well, my neighbor had the program, so I'm just borrowing it from them instead. I'm not going to sign up. And you're like, well, crap, thanks. But, instead of looking at the negative and then going and being like, it's such a crappy day and like posting about it, look at the positive side of things and always try and spin it to the positive. And look at all the things that you do have because of that experience or because of what happened. And I always try to think too, that person was not meant to be with me and they'll come when they're ready. Okay, second rule of life is don't be consumed with the problem, be consumed by the solution. And in my opinion, this is like one of the most important things in life in general that you can really do is if you are faced with a problem, so many times we focus on that problem that we don't even look for solutions. We're just consumed by the problem in front of us. And how am I ever going to reach this? Or how am I ever going to get Success Club? Or what's going to happen with that? And there's no way I can do it. Instead of looking at the problem, figure out what are my options for solutions? What are some things I can do to fix this? And if you can't do it yourself, that's when you need to reach out to your team, reach out to your upline, and really ask people, hey, what are some solutions to this problem that I'm having? And I see in the team page a lot that, people do a very good job of reaching out and saying, hey, I'm having this problem with a customer. How would you guys handle it? So looking for solutions, not looking at the problems. And the last rule of life is don't let the situation handle you, you handle the situation. And I think I really needed to hear that tonight too, because we were talking about an upcoming opportunity for me. And part of me, I was talking about it and he's like, yeah, but you can't let a possible situation control you. You are the one in control, and you need to make it the best that you can. And I think that comes down to a lot of things in our life where we would let the situation handle us. We would say, oh, well, just for instance, I saw one of my friends on Facebook posted, what are some ways to make extra money? And then people were saying like, oh, you be a Beachbody coach. And she was like, oh, I did that and it didn't work. And I think you either have to already have a lot of money or know a ton of people for that to work. So that's, an example of letting the situation handle you instead of you handling a situation. Instead of taking responsibility and saying, I didn't do what I was supposed to do for that business, so it didn't work. She was shifting the blame to, oh, you already have to have money. Girl, no, you don't. I'm broke as a joke, okay? And I'm making it in this business because I'm consistent. And saying you have to have a ton of friends and all this kind of stuff. Well, we give you strategies on how to meet people and how to add friends. So if you don't have that friend base, then what are you doing to fix it? Are you trying to fix it, or are you letting that situation control you and saying, well, I don't have enough friends, so I guess I'm done? Or are you saying, hey, my friends list is only 500 people, so I'm going to start friend requesting people every single day until I have more and more and more people that I'm interacting with and getting that number up. So whatever your situation is, whether it's in business or in life, don't let that situation handle you. You handle that situation. So that was my brief little spiel. I'm sure I could talk way more, but I know Jen wanted to talk as well. So Jen, was there anything else you wanted me to talk about real quick?
No, I totally love that. I want to hear if anybody has any questions or anything to add to it. No? Anybody?
Raise your hand at once.
I know somebody, I have a burning one. I just feel it.
How do you run your continuing support group? How do you do that? Do you run it like a challenge group, or do you just kind of check in? And
mine's more just like a check-in. So it's just an ongoing group, and anytime when the challenge groups ends, I put the link for it. And so people can ask to join. And then even if they don't ask to join it, I go ahead and add people before I close the group out. And it's a good way for me to keep all my customers like in one area. I will say I'm not getting as much engagement in that page as I would like. So I'm looking at changing it up. Like I said, I'm always changing my groups. And so last month and this month I've done, or actually it was just earlier this month and then later this month, I did a free clean eating group that transitioned into a 30-day group. So it's kind of ends up being like 6 weeks long instead of 4 weeks long. Okay. But I think what I'm going to do is actually do a separate prep week. So my next challenge group is going to be like a 1-week prep week. Once you get through prep week, then I'm going to put you into the ongoing support group. And then I'm going to start running that as my main challenge group and posting in it every single day, something different. Not necessarily day 1, day 2, day 3, because everyone's going to end up being on different days, but different stuff each day for them. So it's going to keep me more engaged. It's going to keep the page more engaged and get fresh people in there who might perk up to my older folks.
Right. Okay.
Love it. Love it. And so I really want to touch back. I just took notes on what you said. So when we take a step back or we pause, whenever. So right now we happen to be in a really amazing time because whoever we bring on right now and really teach the ropes and bring them in, they're joining us in January when we're all going to be so busy. But those of us that decide right now, well, you know what, I'm just going to relax and, take this time off and chill, you're going to be behind the 8 ball once we get going in January. So you'll have to repump the well, resend the invites, and then, re-follow up, and it's just going to set you back. So you don't want to.
And actually, I can touch on that real quick too, because I know I talked to you about it. That's basically what happened to me last year was November and December. I just, like I told you guys, I was kind of just like, I'm just going to chill. And I had it in my head, oh, well, come January, everyone's just going to come to me because they know I'm a Beachbody coach. Well, I wasn't consistent enough for people to do that. So come January, I was like starting fresh and I had to really step up my game and talk to people. And it was like starting fresh again. It was starting over, and it sucked. So I do not recommend that. Definitely, this is the time, if any, to stay extra consistent. I've had more people reach out to me this month than any month so far. And literally, I'll post a video or a picture, and someone will message me, hey, I've been following you for a year. I had a lady just the other night message me that. I've followed you for a year, and I've seen your transformation. I need a change right now. I'm ready. Yep. So you never know who's watching you, but if you stay consistent, it will come back around, and those people will start to come to you. And I've told Deep several times, I'm like, I'm not making that mistake I made last year of easing up these months. I'm pressing full force, and January, February, and March are going to be amazing. And just last night, actually, he was like, I'm thinking about what you said, and I'm so excited to see what happens in the new year for your business. He's like, because I know it's going to be great. He's like, you really are, working extra hard at it. So yeah, I'm excited to see what happens. I think it will make a huge difference.
Yep. I think the key right here, the key is consistency. That's the word. That's the ultimate thing, is consistency in everything you do. So in the program that you have chosen, I'm committing to the ultimate reset, which is really difficult, but I just feel like I'm feeling called to it right now, and I'm really excited about it. So I'm starting that on Monday. I'm doing it between Halloween and Thanksgiving, and I'm just going to share every single day about my foods, and then I'm leading a challenge group. And so during that time, I'll just be sharing the workouts that they'll be doing, because I don't want to take myself away from the workouts. So the hammer and chisel is coming out. That is an opportunity right now to be using the workouts on demand and sharing and showing you doing that, because when it comes, the people that are going to be buying it they're going to go to the people like you and me that are, sampling it and showing it. So do not miss out on that, because that's going to be a really big launch. The transformations from that are just incredible. So consistency in your workouts, in your own eating, really taking care of yourself right now, being that example that it can be done. Consistency in your invites. So really just sharing, putting the opportunity in front of people every single day, and not really feeling nothing about it, like not feeling like, is it too much? Am I sharing too much? No, because different people are seeing it at different times. So really just be excited to share about it multiple times a day, your upcoming groups, and, like she said, get creative. If you experience I don't remember the word you used, but however you felt in August, like it wasn't no fun, I think you said. Get creative, get in the team page and just say, hey, does anybody want to swap ideas? Let's get creative and think of some different fun groups. Everybody leads different style. We all have, so many different things going on, but pair up with somebody. You reach out to your sponsor, post in the team page, don't ever feel like you're just left out there and you don't have an idea. I love that you said, these things that we come across. So this thing with your success partner, it really could have ended your business, but you handled it like a mature adult, and you guys decided to have a really good, keep your relationship good and just separate. And that was so wise. So it's such an opportunity for growth. Whatever you come across, we are all going to experience something. There's no such thing as perfect in life, period, not in this business either. So just look at it like an opportunity to grow and learn from. I've experienced so much. I was working towards Elite last year, and we had all the points and everything was lining up, and it just kind of last minute just didn't really work out. And I did cry. I sure did cry. But my husband said, this is an opportunity to grow and learn. And I definitely took a knee. I took some time to just be like, overwhelmed and stressed and upset about it. But then I, got up, dusted myself off, and honestly started off this year stronger than ever. And so this has been an incredible year. And I really do think because of that, considered failure that I personally experienced, this year just has been off the charts and incredible. And I just know for us next year, it's just going to continue to be the same. So whenever you experience something, go through it and then learn from it. There's something to learn there. I love your husband's 3 rules. Be an optimist. Truly look for the good. There is always good. There always is that silver lining. So look for it and focus on it. Don't focus on the other stuff because it can consume you, which can consume your personal life. You know, a lot of us have hubbies and children. Don't let it consume your life. Focus on the good. Be consumed by the solution. So pretty much don't be part of the problem. So be consumed by, you know, finding the solution and then handle the situation. Don't let it handle you. You handle it. And I also just want to go back to the whole how you and your success partner didn't like tear things to the floor. Really, I know. I mean, a lot of people don't handle things appropriately. So you had the hard conversations. And you know what? I always, you know, hard conversations are that. They're hard. They can be awkward. But me personally, I'd rather have a hard conversation any day than have things just start, you know, unraveling or, you know, gossip get going on or, you know, division and things like that. So have the hard conversation if it happens to be, you know, with a teammate or whatever it may be. So I love it. Those were my takeaways from everything that you said. Excuse me. Does anybody have anything to add or share or any other questions? I love about your ongoing group because see, me personally, I lead my groups every month and then I have that wellness community. It probably sounds like it's a similar idea. There's not a lot of engagement there either, but there is some. So I can't like leave it because of those people that are like, it's just like, they're there. So, and there's a lot of people.
I'd heard of other coaches doing where they actually just transition their new challengers into like an ongoing group. And I thought that was a good idea because they, the one that I really want to follow, the way she does it is every Monday, new people get added to the ongoing group. So a prep week is, you know, like a Monday through a Sunday. And then that next Monday you would get entered into the group. So technically every week you can run a prep week if you wanted to. I'll probably just pick 1 or 2 weeks a month to do it. Yeah. But you're constantly getting those fresh people because we all know like you get to about week 3 in your challenge groups and it gets so hard to pull them back in, you know, like they all start out super excited and posting every day. And then it's like slowly starts to taper off. Yeah. So I feel like if I was every couple weeks adding in a fresh batch of people, yeah, it might, you know, reignite everyone and get them excited again because that excitement is contagious. You know, that's, I mean, look at our businesses. Our businesses, you get excited when others are excited. If our team page was all dull and like crappy, no one would be on these calls. No one would be here, you know, but our team page has that excitement and it has that fire and we're constantly putting new people into it. So it's that same kind of
so what is the,
for a challenge group.
What is the posting like? Like how does it, I mean, are you recycling posts or are you just continuing to make
Well, a lot of people just do like a schedule where like, you know, it's always going to be Tasty Tuesday and it's always going to be Thirsty Thursday. Right. And then you just make a little post to go with it, but you can put like a banner at the top that just says like, hey, this is what we do every week. Yeah. You know, on Mondays, we're always posting selfies. On Tuesdays, you know, whatever it is.
Yeah, I know. I do have that actually. So I have that group with that header and everything. And that's the one I'm talking about. So I know, just trying to figure it out too. So I used to run 3 and 4 a month and it was just
it's a lot. That's the thing too, is it's like, I lose interest in the groups that aren't engaging too. So then I feel bad because I'm like, hey, how you guys doing? Okay, no one's responding. I'm over to my new group that is responding. And I feel kind of bad because I'm like leaving these guys. Talking. What am I gonna do?
I know. Yeah, and you have to write it out. That's the thing. It's just I always feel responsible to like do the whole thing. There's only been in 2 years, one group. I was like, okay, we're gonna go ahead and end and move.
And we're done.
I've done it once because it was that dead. And the people that were like, hey, I'm still here, they just joined, and that's all good. So okay, so I love that. What are anybody other suggestions or ideas for groups? So what do you guys have going? I know some of you have a fun cash pot for the holidays. What are some of your other ideas? Ashley, what are you up to? Both you Ashleys.
Which one?
Yeah. Either one.
I just came up with a Healthy for the Holidays group because I know everybody, and I know I will, I'm going to splurge on Thanksgiving because, yeah, I can't resist the food.
Yeah, I know.
gonna come up with a healthy for the holidays group, and I'm kind of gonna incorporate like clean eating into the 21 Day Fix group. That's what I'm committing to. And I'm going to make sure everybody that joins the group is going to commit to Shakeology along with the program and the eating, because if they don't commit and they don't get the results, then they just, like Shannon said, everybody just goes blah in the challenge group and nobody wants to respond to anything because they're not doing the work to get the results.
Yeah. I'll tell you, for me, for November, it'll be something about no excuses November, because it really is a time loaded with all the excuses. We all know them. We have family coming in and we're traveling and there's junk food everywhere. So it's really going to be, for me, about me personally focusing on that and really teaching and helping people. So it's kind of where I'm headed for November. No excuses November. That's where we're at. And then December, I'll do something along the lines of giving and, gifts and prizes, because it's Christmas. So I'll have a bunch of prizes lined up each week for, participation, maybe do like a point system in both of the months. And that really does get people more engaged, doing a point system. So that's kind of what I'm thinking for my upcoming ones. And it's something else for, just being thankful because November is our thankful month. So just being thankful for them and thinking about ways to just share and post about that within the groups and, outside on my pages too.
One thing I saw for that, for like the giving back type thing, is do like Thankful Thursday or something like that, or like Pay It Forward Friday, and then the challenge is for them to do something nice for someone else when they're out and about during the day. So it doesn't have to be anything with money or fitness related or anything like that, but like, if they want to like pay for the person's drink behind them at Starbucks, or if they want to, say like, oh, I help an old lady to her car, like whatever, but like they have to find somebody to help throughout the day and pay it forward. And that's the person who talked about that said they got a lot of good response from it. Lindsay, you said you did it? Yeah.
Isn't that fun? I've done it every once in a while. Just do it. And it's so fun to drive away and like feel like, oh, they just pulled up and it was paid for. I love that. That's really fun to incorporate into our groups. And then, just have that spread the word. So they're on their journey, their health and fitness journey, and then they're doing good for others. I love it. So what else? Anybody else have anything else to add?
How do you do? I've noticed that because I'm starting some of my first challenge groups, so I'm like kind of new to it, and I've been adding a lot of people like through the people you might know list, and I've been adding a lot of people and doing a lot of invites, and a lot of times like people haven't talked to me since high school or middle school, so they're like, I'm not even caught up with you, like what are you doing, what is all this? So I've been thinking about either doing like a call or like a short like 5-day group, like introducing what it's like kind of going to be like in a challenge group without actually getting the challenge pack, so they know kind of what they're doing. That way they're more comfortable with committing.
Yeah, like a free.
I don't know exactly what I'm going to do in the group, but I'm still brainstorming.
Like the clean eating, that's what I use it as, is like a sneak peek into a real group. So there's lots of good files on that, but that's always a good way to get people engaged, is just say like, hey, this is how it is in a 30-day group, but you get to try it for free for 7 days, or 5 days.
Yeah, and really just add a lot of value. So if you're adding a lot of value, so really supply them with a great shopping list and keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate it. If you want to do recipes, I'm sure on our team page there's options. If you're in there, or we can get them to you. But there's plenty of free clean eating ideas that you can run, so that you don't feel like you're just jumping in and having them feel like you're trying to sell them something. So definitely add them to that. And then if they commit to a 5-day group, I don't lead them that often right now. I used to lead them quite a bit, but people that really committed for that 1 week would lose about 5 pounds, and that is just enough to make them feel like, I want more results, get really, really super excited, and by the end of that week they're ready to order a challenge pack, because you've built the trust, you've built that relationship. So definitely, a clean eating group. And in that group, use it as, yes, you're providing the value for the clean eating, but you are also speaking about coaching. You are also speaking about challenge groups. You're just weaving it in there. Mm-hmm. Makes sense? Yeah. Good. And good for you for getting out there and being bold and just sharing with people. You could do, more, like forming and, finding out more about them and catching up a little bit more. But totally, I know I send invites too. I'll just send them. So I don't feel bad about it. I feel bad if they say no. I'm just like, oh man, you have no idea. Like, you have no idea. So, but eventually even the no's come back around. So even the people that say we haven't caught up, well now, they're watching you. They're paying attention to your posts. So don't even worry about that.
Sierra, did you have a question?
How do you do the points in your groups? Because I think they're hard to keep up with.
Yeah. I don't do it. I don't do it often. That's what I'm saying. We have 2 months of focus, and I personally am like getting really, really, really focused these next 2 months, and got my whiteboard right here and ideas. So it's not something I would probably always be doing, but it really comes down to participation. You just set the rules, and I have that in the team page too. Like, I think I have a file on every single thing. Like, if they, post a photo that day, anything you kind of ask them to do, you're keeping points for it. So you could keep like a Google Doc or something simple, but.
Because I was thinking, sorry.
Well, I know people who've done it where they post, like Jen said, the Google Doc of the points. They'll post it in the group page, and then each participant is responsible for updating their own points on like an honor system.
Yeah.
And I've never done it that way, but I think I want to try it soon, because I think that would definitely be a lot easier.
Yeah.
I was kind of thinking like picking one day and having whoever post whatever I decide for them to post that day. If they actually post it, put their name into a drawing. So if the group's 6 weeks, their name could go in the drawing up to 6 times.
Yeah.
And something like that would be a little bit easier, but still be just as effective, because everybody would have the equal chance.
Right.
Well, one of my coaches, what she does is she'll just, like, she posts in her group every day, but then one day a week, and she doesn't say which day it's going to be, there's a prize if you complete the assignment.
Okay.
And so, and it's like the first person to complete it, or she just like picks someone. I don't know how she does it. I forget. But so what happens though is, like, then every day they're checking those posts and they're reading them and doing them, because it might be the one where they get the prize. And it can be something simple as like a packet of Shakeology, or like a $5 gift card to Starbucks or something. But she does that like once a week through the 4 weeks, and it keeps people engaged.
I like that.
Yeah, that's awesome. I like that too.
Yeah, so
I thought that was pretty cool. I was like, that's really smart.
Yeah, just trying to get some little ideas about how to do it too, and I'll check out that file. Thank y'all.
Yeah, I can tag you on it too. I need to make mention to that. So does she like mention it in prep week? So she just says these are like the rule. Okay. Oh,
yeah, and she'll just say like, hey, once a week, and you don't know which day it's going to be or what post, it's going to be a bonus like prize post. And if you complete it, then I'm going to pick one of the people who completed it to win the prize for the day.
Super fun. Awesome. Thank you so much, girls. Anybody else have any last minute comments or anything?
Take a picture.
Okay.
You always forget.
I'm sorry. Okay. When I say 3, you better smile. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Thank you so much, Shannon. I really, really, really appreciate it. I got your notes, and thank you everybody else for your comments and suggestions. And I love that idea right there, that last minute one. I'm going to be adding that one in right there. So thank you so much for that. Thank you everybody for showing up. I appreciate it. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Gosh, Shannon.
Bye.
Bye guys.
Bye.